Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is CINO'S Melody as presented on my desktop. So for the day, I'm going to show you how to mix vocals in Cubase 12. So these ones are, Afro vocals to be specific. But first of all, I do the color grading, which means give all my tracks colors so that it just looks presentable and organized, as you can see on the screen. Okay, so I have a very raw vocal here, so what we're going to do is make sure that it sounds as nice, as professional as possible. Here's how our vocal sounds without any processing.
I don't forget to this life. Now be short, this love is hard to find. I don't forget this, baby. The way you hold on for me. Never forsake my lady. We done faking made.
Okay, there it is. You can hear it's raw. There's nothing on it, literally nothing on it. We're going to play with the beat and then see how we can make sure that the vocal and the beat are in balance. Here we go. So what we're going to do right now is fix all the issues. The first issue, if you could hear, if you have the ears for music, you would definitely hear that the beat is on top of the vocals, so the vocals are dominated. So we want to make sure that issues such as those ones are mediated or they're dealt with. The first thing I'm going to do is add compression on it. It's just more of balancing the dynamics, and also dealing with volume. So let's just add compressor in Cubase. I'll play again. So what we're learning right now is that the voices or the vocals are coming out just a little bit, but they're still under. That's why it's recommended, especially for me. I prefer to use more than just one compressor. The other one, do most of the work. The other one is just to back up the other compressor. Okay, so what we're going to do now is add another compressor. That is R compressor from Waves. Ratio is just 1, and then the gain, we're doing too much, a little bit too much, but we're not really touching anything on the attack and the release. But then we're punching it up to 7, gain reduction. So let's hear how it sounds now.
I don't forget this life. I be short, this love is hard to find. I don't forget this, baby. The way you hold on for me.
So now we are getting somewhere. The vocals are coming out. You can hear them. They're going along with the beat. So we are moving to the second issue. We want to make sure that we remove all the unnecessary or the unpleasant sounds from our vocals and leave out the only the sweet or the needed part of the vocals. Okay, so who does that? Equalizers. So here's the EQ I used, SSL channel. Let's turn it on. Anyway, what the SSL is simply doing is we have our high frequencies here, high mid, low mid, and then low mid. Okay, we want to bring some clarity to our vocals. To do that, we have to boost the high frequencies a little bit. So I boosted up to 3 here, almost to 3. and then I had to take out the low mid frequencies, up to -6, close to -7, and this is how it sounds.
I don't forget this life. I be short of this love's hard to find. I don't forget this, baby.
It's not doing too much. It's not doing too much, but it's definitely doing something. If you just pay close attention, it's doing just a little bit. It's bringing clarity just a little bit. The next thing I did or added is pitch correction. Of course, our vocals are not perfect. I'm not a perfect singer, so I had to tune my vocals. So I used the default. You can use any kind of auto tune as long as you know the key of your beat. Mine is major, and then the most important thing is just the key, and then the speed. Here, the higher the number, the more auto tune you're actually applying. So with that added, this is how my vocals sound now.
I don't forget this life. I be short of this love's hard to find. I don't forget this, baby. The way you hold me for me. Never forsake my lady. We done fade, ready.
You can already hear that the vocals are very well tuned, not too much of course, but they are tuned. They sound very, very good. And I also did some parallel compression, parallel processing. So we are moving into that now. Now before we move on, I almost forgot, I also added a vocal rider just to deal with my dynamics, because at some points I sang very loud, and other points like very, very low. So I brought in the vocal rider to deal with that issue, and it did deal with it. Here's what it sounds with the rider on.
I don't forget this life. I be short of this love's hard to find.
See, whenever I sing very low, it just lifts up those vocals. Whenever I sing very high, it just makes sure that it balances so that it doesn't really sound very, very louder than the rest of the vocals. Now we're gonna move on to the parallel process. So I have a bus, it's called lead, where I have all this processing, more processing being done. So let's just get into it. So what that means is that this group track is connected to all my vocals, which means whatever effects I'm adding on here is affecting the vocals, which are connected to this lead aux or bass. Okay, and then the first thing I did on my parallel process is I added we're here. I added a de-esser. I think we all know what a de-esser does. It just deals with sibilant sounds or harshness, harsh sounds, such as you can even hear when I'm saying harsh, like the S and the T's, the sharp sounds, because they kind of irritate the ears when you kind of listen to the song over and over again. So here's with it.
I don't forget this life. I be short of this love's hard to find. I don't forget this, baby. The way you hold me for me. Never forsake my lady. We done fade, ready. I don't forget this life. I be short of this love's hard to find. I don't forget this, baby. The way you hold me for me.
See, it's only dealing with those sounds, but the thing is, in my vocal, that was not really a big issue, so that's why it's not really, doing too much. That's why you don't see it responding, that much, because I didn't really use the S sounds as much. And then next I added another EQ, parallelly. What this one is doing is rolling off a lot of the muddiness, around about 80 plus, and then I also dive down a little bit of a 3K. It's a pain frequency, so I had to take it down. Okay, here's how it sounds with and without. I'm just going to toggle back and forth.
I don't forget this life. I be short in love.
Without.
I don't forget this life.
See, it sounds boxy and bassy, but with.
I be short in love.
With, it's bringing in clarity. The vocal is becoming more clear and neat. That's what we need. Then the next plugin is I added another EQ. Okay, R6 EQ, and again I'm rolling off a lot of the low frequencies here, and this time I'm boosting the high frequencies, which bring in some crispiness and just beauty in the vocal. Here's without.
I don't forget this life. I be short.
Now here's with.
I don't forget this life. I be short in love.
Okay, I know if you are concerned about how thin it's starting to sound, but I'm going to deal with that. And then next, as you can hear, the vocals are still like under, so added another EQ, another compressor. Okay, Blackie. And here's without.
I don't forget this life. I be short in love.
Here's with.
I don't forget this life. I be short in love.
See, it's very clean. It's also bringing in the body back, because if we play without, when we added this, the second EQ, it started sounding thin. But then when this compressor is coming in, it's bringing the body back just a little bit. Okay, and it sounds very, very nice. And then added another compressor. This one is Arvox, just boosted up to -5 dB of compression, and then reduced a little bit. So this is how it sounds without, and then with later.
I don't forget this life. I be short in love.
Here is with. Is what it's doing.
I don't forget this life. I be short in love.
Beautiful, we're already getting the clarity that we need, and the body is also coming back, just small, but it's coming through. And then I added another compressor again. Is it too much? Well, maybe it's too much, but it's all it's a tasteful thing, so as long as it sounds good, then we're good to go. So we added our compressor, and here's without.
I don't forget this life. I be short in love. I don't forget this, baby. The way you hold on for me. Never forsake my lady. We don't fade, ready.
Okay. Here's with.
I don't forget this life. I be short in love. It's hard to find And I forget this, baby. The way you hold on for me. Never forsake my lady. We done fake ready.
Again, more volume, more body, more compression. The vocals are, being leveled very well. They're being balanced, and it sounds good. So next, I added another EQ for filter. Here's how it sounds without.
I don't forget this life. I be short of this love's hard to find. I don't forget this, baby. The way you hold on for me.
Here's with.
I don't forget this life. I be short of this love's hard to find.
Again, I wrote off some, of the low frequencies and dealt with one pain frequency right there, around 700, and just did some substitute EQing, and that's how it sounds. And then we went on and added a de-esser to deal with the S's, because now there's a lot of the high frequencies and little or less of the mid, the low mid, and the low. That's how it sounds without.
I don't forget this life. I be short of this love's hard to find.
Here's with.
I don't forget this life. I be short of this love.
See, when I said short, it's just dealing with the sharpness out of that S. And then I added a decapitator. It's a very interesting plugin. It adds some aggression, to the vocal. So distortions. Here's without.
I don't forget this life. I be short of this love's hard to find. I don't forget this, baby.
Here's with.
I don't forget this life. I be short of this love's hard to find.
See, very nice decapitator. It brought in this brightness with a little bit of aggression, with a little bit of energy. Just very, very nice. And then after that, I did some parallel compression. I'm just going to kind of blend it in until when I feel like it's it sounds nice or right. Then I'm gonna let it be. So let me go to my sense. Okay. So I did the blending up to -20 and it sounded good. Here's without.
I be short of this love's hard to find. I don't forget this, baby.
And then here's with. Again, we need that body that we took away. So this is what I'm trying to do now. Here's how it sounds with.
I be short of this love's hard to find. I don't forget this, baby.
Tell me you can't hear that. It's a night and day difference. All that brightness, the thinness which you had is being blended well with the body which is coming, which we are bringing back because of the parallel compression that we just did. Let's hear that again.
I be short of this love.
You can hear how bright it is.
It's hard to find.
Nobody.
I don't forget this, baby.
Now here's with.
I be short of this love. It's hard to find.
Perfect. That's perfect. So let's move on. See, that's how I deal with my vocals. First I just remove all the unnecessary or the unwanted, sounds from it, and then that kind of means for me that I have to do a lot of low frequency roll off. But at the end of the day, I just find a way to bring back the body that I roll off. And then next, we did some more parallel processing. So we're going to move on to the reverb. So again, there's a difference when you apply the reverb or these effects directly on the vocal and when you apply them parallelly. You understand? So when you apply them direct, they kind of, if you put a reverb on top or like direct on the vocal or on the track of the vocal, it kind of masks the vocal a little bit. So that's kind of not a nice way to do it. A nice way to do it is parallelly, which means you just blend it well. So you create an effect and then you blend it with the vocal, so they give each other space and chances to go along very well. So here's without, of course.
I don't forget all these life. Now be sure to these love's hard to find.
So when I add my reverb, here's how it sounds with.
Now be sure to these love's hard to find. I don't forget these, baby. The way you hold on for me.
You see, there's the tail. Very, very nice. I have two reverbs. One is short, one is a long reverb. I had to side chain my reverbs and the delay, in the sense that whenever my vocal is playing, the reverb ducks and only plays when there are no vocals engaged. So they are kind of giving each other opportunities, and then just work well in the music realm. So that made it so perfect. Let me just play without the beat first.
Now be sure to these love's hard to find.
Amazing, trust me, it's amazing. And then next I added of course a doubler. So I just kind of rolled off, you know me, I took some mud out, that's some low frequency, raised the high frequencies, so that the double vocal will sound crispy, lighter, brighter, with clarity. And if you see here, I added delay here on these two only, so that it kind of it had a longer tail and just make it a little bit different. That's how I felt. I just kind of I love the taste of it. Okay, without first, this is how it sounds without.
This life.
Quiet, right? Let's put the magic on. I just added more reverb and then delay, and this is how it sounds with
This life. Now be.
And if you want me to just maybe specifically do a tutorial on how to do the side chaining of reverbs and delays, just parallel processing in general, let me know in the comment section. I'm definitely going to do that. All right. And well, before we continue, go ahead and subscribe. You'll be notified whenever I post a new video in the future. Okay, so let's play the whole of it. Preview. This is how it sounds with all the processing, of course.
I don't forget all these life. Now be sure to these love's hard to find. I don't forget these, baby. The way you hold on for me. Never forsake my lady. We done faking ready.
Isn't that beautiful? Let's just hear that for the last time, okay?
I don't forget all these life. Now be sure to these love's hard to find. I don't forget these, baby. The way you hold on for me. Never forsake my lady. We done faking ready.
There you go. So that is how I went about mixing these Afro type vocals in the likes, for the likes of, I'm always reminded of Rude Boy whenever I play this. So that is the end of the video. Until next time, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Peace out.